So let's take a look at our project. This Caddy Wagon, is good for a lot of things. A fruit bowl. If you have a place in your bathroom, you can, for guests or whoever comes to visit, or a nice display, you can fill it with your goodies, for them to use. I'm going to remove all this. You can also use it for if you're having perhaps you're having an outside deal. You can fill it with napkins, your plastic silverwares, whatever, salts and peppers. So today we're going to make this. I'll just bring you around here, the back. And this is our Caddy Wagon. Our Caddy Wagon we're making, our final piece, is about 8.5 inches long by about 6 inches wide. So for this project, you'll want one sheet of 12 by 12 size medium weight chipboard. I am using the 49th Market Sense of Nature paper, and it is brand new. And you only get 9 sheets, double-sided sheets. It's very high quality in here, and that is perfect. And the ones I chose for my main are these two, just gorgeous. Okay, you're going to want some bling, and I am going to use the bling on the roll that is gold, and it's 4 rows. And I'm going to use a variety of flowers. And I just got a bunch here. And you can use whatever you would like. These are the 49th and Market. And I added in a little butterfly here. And I'm going to be using some dried baby's breath. And I don't sell this, but you can find this down at Michael's. To ink around my edges, since I am using these blues, I'm going to use the color box. It's Cerulean. You're also going to need a pack of the Designs by Shellie, or DBS, wooden wagon wheels. And you will definitely want a craft knife, a ruler. You will want some adhesive, and I'm using the Art Glitter Glue. It has no glitter in it, and it dries clear with my metal tip. And I do need the double back tape, which is score tape, and this is the 1/2 inch. You can use 1/4 inch if that's what you have. You'll want some ribbon to make a bow, and any ribbon will do. You'll want some lace, and I'm going to use, I think this is about a 1/2 inch. Any lace will do. To get around the outside, you'll definitely need approximately a yard of lace, or a little less, and if you want to do on the inside, you'll want some for that as well. So look in your stash. You're going to need 2 deep edge punches. The first punch here is by EK Tools. This is what I'm going to use, and this one is called Scroll Pattern, and it's going to give me the railing around my wagon, Caddy Wagon. This one is a deeper edge, just like the other. It is by EK Tools, and this is called Flower Burst. And what this is going to give us is this design here, and this is what's going to wrap around the corners of our project. So let's get started. We will be keeping all of our leftover pieces that we have for the chipboard and our paper. Let's go ahead and cut this down to a 12-inch by 10-inch piece. As I stated before, keep this. We'll just set that off to the side. Let's go ahead and grab our pieces. These are the 2 colors, my main colors, I'm going to be using for this project. And one other thing is you will want to get maybe a hot glue gun for quick tacking. Okay, in your paper pack you will find this sheet. On the back it looks like this. And I've already trimmed off on this piece the little edge border. and I put that off to the side. You'll want this sheet on the back. It looks like this. Trim off this trim piece on this one. Okay, let's start with this one. Let's measure over 10 inches and cut. We're going to want to save this piece. Go ahead and put that with the scrap chipboard. Let's get this one out. And we're actually going to be using this color for the inside. However, we may want to clip off some things. So let's just take a look at our paper, looking at it like this. Let's measure over 2 inches and cut. This piece set off to the side with the other piece. And now we can flip this over. Grab your score tape, and we are just going to place it on our chipboard. Okay, flip it over. Let's do the exact same thing on this side. Okay, I got both mine down. One thing is you are going to want to start with a brand new blade on your craft knife. Okay, what I'm going to do is take off the backing of my score tape, and I'm going to place this sheet down so it's even. If you get a little off to where you're a little more crooked, don't worry about it. We do have trim. So let's go ahead and lay this sheet down. Alrighty, let's flip it over, remove the score tape, and place this sheet down. Going all the way around, just trying to cover up the white core paper at the edges is all I'm doing here. Okay. The first thing that I want to do is grab my ruler, and I am going to measure 2 inches in from the side, make a mark, measure, and I'm going to do it here too, because that's going to help me get a straight line. Then I'm just going to place my ruler down, and this one is not straight on the side. And I'm lightly going to make a pencil mark all the way down it, so I know where I need to be. So there's my line there. And I'm going to measure in 2 inches from here as well. A couple places. Then I can line up my ruler and lightly draw pencil line. And I think I may have gotten, nope, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Measure up 2 inches. And again, on this side. And the only reason why I'm doing the 2 lines is so that I can match up my ruler to get a straight line all the way across. Okay, this is where the craft knife is going to come in handy. Line up your ruler with your line there. The key to this is you do not want to cut all the way through your chipboard. What we're trying to do is create a score line so we can actually bend this. So we're just going to run our knife along that line, and I'm going to give it a couple and see how that works for me. So if it bends, if it isn't going to bend, you need to go and score again down that line until you can bend it. Now, medium weight chipboard, see, it's starting to bend now, and I can feel that, and that's exactly what I want, is to be able to bend it like so. So I'm good there. I'm going to put this back down. I'm going to do the same thing for this and going across this way. So let's do that. Okay, once you have it all done, like so, Just kind of give your sides a bend in there. Okay. You can use your craft knife for this, or if you have heavy-duty scissors. I don't know where mine went, so it looks like I am going to need my mat here. Looking at it like this, the only places that we're going to cut all the way through is right here, and then up here and here. I did have scissors that went through this. Here they are. Make it much easier. I'm just going to get right on that score line and cut up to that point on each side. If you cut in too far and a piece comes off, you can always place like a little piece of cardstock or from the paper collection, something. So here's the idea of this. You got one side up, this side's going to be coming in, this side's going to fold up as well and come in like so. Okay. Okay. What we want to do is just flip this over. We're going to put score tape here, 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 and here. If your score tape overlaps some, it isn't going to hurt anything. If it's easier for you just to do strips, then do that. I'm going to remove the score tape off two sides here. I removed score tape off this one and this one. If you did these two, that's fine. I kind of got turned around. So I'm going to pull up one side here. When I pull it up, I want to make sure that the edge here is going to go flush against that. So let's just pull that right on in and match it up. If you have a little overhang, that's okay because we have trim. Okay, and I'm going to do the same over here. This side, and you just want to make sure that you have this nice and good here down with the score tape. Now this is where I said that we're going to have little covers, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I am going to remove the score tape off this side and do the same thing and pull in my sides. Alright, I'm going to just pull these right on in. I'm going to do one at a time here. Make sure this is straight. I'm going to get the other side. And I'm going to press down really good. Make sure that is not going anywhere. And you should have something like this to start. And this is going to be my main side with the flowers over here. Okay, let's go ahead and turn our piece, and we're going to need our pencil to find center, and I had my pencil around here. Here it is. And we are about 6 inches wide. Make mark about 3 inch for center, and then let's measure down. I would say about 3/4 of an inch. And then we are going to place that right where center is, right here, and do a 1 inch slit. And it's going to be about 1/8 of an inch. So once you have that, as you can see, I drew a little notch here. We are just going to use our craft knife and cut that out. Your box should be sturdy enough to withstand the pressure that you put on it if you use the medium weight chipboard. Okay, let's go ahead and get our trim ready to go. Now in your paper pack you will find this sheet. I've already cut on mine from the other project I made. On the back is this where it has the birds. Trim this part off. Now let's go ahead and measure over 2 inches and cut, measure over 2 inches and cut, and measure over again 2 inches and cut. So what you're going to have are 3 2-inch wide pieces by 12 inches. So set one off to the side for now. Let's grab our scroll pattern punch, and we're just going to punch along the long side on both of these to start. So what we're going to do is place this on the inside. So we're just going to, I'm going to first make a little bend mark with this. So I can get my corner started. And I'm just going to bring this around, make a pinch where that other corner is. So what we have is this. Now we have enough here to adhere down. So this is what's going to go all the way around here. So I've got that one. And now for over here, what I'm going to do is try and match these up. If yours does not match up that well, find the closest part to where it does. And you may have to move yours over a little bit to match up your pieces. And it's going to be easiest if we just apply our glue now. Figure out where it needs to be and apply your glue. And I think that's going to be the easiest way. Okay, let's stick that right on in there. Give a little bend in your corner where you know where your corner is. Slide it in. Okay, so here's our other piece that we have going on. And all we're going to do is, first let's just make a bend on this so it will fit nicely. Figure out how much you need to get over to here. And then just leave yourself a little room, cut, and punch this piece. I've got mine, and I know where my bend is here. So now I'm going to add a little glue to this. Okay, and then this one should fit. Make sure you have your spacing correctly there so it does fit. If you need to bend in that corner too, make sure you have enough room there. Now for this next part, you can use glue or you can use your score tape. And all I'm going to do is apply my glue. And it's easier to work with it so you can move it around to get it straight if you do use the glue, but we're going to add it to the outside of our piece here, especially in the corners. If you have clamps kind of like this, that will help to speed up the process and get it flush there against the other piece. Just make sure you get it in those corners. Okay. We're going to put this on the inside, this around, and you're just going to bring it up so that it is, the edge is right like that. So it doesn't go up too far to where you're seeing an overhang there. We are going to put lace around here, so in case you're off just a little bit, that's okay. And this is a good time for those clamps if you have them. If you don't, just be patient. I've got mine in. Let's go ahead and grab this piece here. And I'm going to give it a little bend at the end there so I can get around. But we're just going to line this right around the inside of our box. So I'm going to apply my glue here and start doing that. And that should be a nice fit. Okay, this next one, I'm just going to place it right where the other one ends. However, we do have that hole, so we will punch back through that hole there. Got that in there. Now you should have a leftover piece, like so, that will fit that last piece to overlap right on in there. Okay, let's just cut right on through this little piece here. It's going to be very simple to get through. I'm going to start by doing this. Make sure your glue is completely dry before doing this, or you will tear your paper. I've got mine through. I have some residue in there. I'm not going to worry about that right now because I will be sticking something in there and it will push it out for me. With that leftover paper where we used to cut a small strip here, cut a 2 1/4 inch strip, and then let's grab our flower burst and do some punching. Okay, you should have at least 4 of these flowers, and we're just going to separate them. Okay, I've got all 4 of these. Now the reason why I did 2 1/4 is to give yourself a little bit of room here to decide just how far you want these to hit. Now if you want 2 1/4, like what we cut, you'll have it to be able to wrap all the way to the top. I'm going to bring mine shorter down because I do have lace to go around here. So until I measure up the lace, I will hold off from cutting those down. So let's grab our lace. Glue these all the way around our project. And this is where if you have a little bit peeking upward that doesn't match flush, just in case you got a little off, I did, that's where we'll bring our lace up a little bit more. So you may want to start on that side. So let's glue that down. So this is the part where we're going to want to grab these. If you want yours all the way up, you're at the proper size right now. If you want yours to be just a little bit smaller on the edge there, that's where you will make a mark with your pencil on one of these and then make sure that they are all cut the same. Okay, I've cut mine down to where I want them, and I'm just going to apply glue and glue those down to the edges there. And when wrapping this, you're going to want to make sure that you come over even on the other side there. This is a 4-row bling, so I'm just going to measure how much I need to get to the side to side and leave myself just a couple extra. And now I'm going to divide these all by cutting them. So you should have 4 strips. Glue it down and go all the way around. Okay, I've got mine all the way around. I'm going to take some lace and I am going to line the inside now. So let's do that. I've got my lace on. It's time to get our wagon wheels on. And this is the point where I like to add my wagon wheels because then I can position my flowers where needed. Okay, let's set this up. I am going to apply, and I like to look at it to where there is a straight line of a spoke going across. We're going to add glue to the back all the way around the circle and then just come across on your wheel right here and get all your spokes and up and around. Placement is I'm going to bring it in a little from the side, maybe a 1/2 inch. The bottom of the round inner circle is going to hit the bottom of this. So I'm going to show you really quick. I'm going to first get all the way around this and then across here. This is a great time to have clamps. If you don't, then you'll have to wait for your first side to dry. Making sure I get glue on all those spokes there. And I'll just bring it over here. Now, if you're not using clamps, you'll probably want to wait for your wheels to dry first, and then you'll flip it over to the other side. While our wheels are drying, let's find something in our paper pack. You will find this sheet. On the back, it's this. We need the beauty of nature is all around, so let's trim off that. Clip yours off on each side of the little flower like that. And then we're going to just set this off to the side. I've got some dried baby's breath here. And I just kind of bunched up a bunch. And I'm going to glue this down first. And I want it to stick up, so I'm just going to add where I think it's needed. Lay this down, and I'm going to glue it down to the baby's breath. And I'm going to use some hot glue to do that. I'm going to grab another one. And just kind of lay it across there. I recommend if you're going to have your fingers in some of these leaves and everything that you'll definitely want to use a low temp so you don't blister yourself. Grab one of these little guys. Just slide it back in there. If you have some flat back pearls, you can put them in the center, if you have gems or whatever. And even though this one is partially buried under there, I still am going to add one because I think it's going to show if I don't. And I'm going to apply glue and glue these down over here. Let's grab this, and I bent mine here and kind of went down like this. This part is going to be hidden. Let's pop this back up. I'm going to slide the and that back behind. And I'm going to glue this down just like that. And now I'm going to move on to decorating the other side. I almost forgot my butterfly, and I just used a Martha Stewart butterfly punch on this, and so this is just going to glue right down to the flower there. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side by gluing some baby's breath down right here. I'm going to add a leaf. I'll grab another leaf that I have handy here. And do the same thing. Grab a purple flower, put it here. have a smaller flower right here. I've made a bow. I'm just going to apply some glue there. I'm just going to tuck that right there. Now I'm going to measure up on this bow, let the tails go down that way. Okay, let's work on the final part. Alrighty, on this piece of chipboard that we had left, let's measure over 1 inch. I've got glue all over me. 1 inch and cut a strip. Okay, first thing we're going to do is make sure that we fit. You can wiggle it in to make it fit. It's going to be very tight, and that's what we want. Okay, so wiggle that in and let some come out the back side. Take your ruler and measure about 1 inch, or excuse me, measure about 1/2 inch, so we have a 1/2 inch tail. Okay, leave it like that. Now figure out how long you want your piece to be. For me, I think I'm going to bring mine down to about right here. So I've got my placement here, and I'm just going to cut. Okay, pull this out, make a bend so that you can verify that this is going to work for you, and you'll want to bend it up and just work it on in there. And mine looks good. Okay, I'm going to take mine back out. Down here, this is where we're going to do a little bit of freehand. We're just going to make a square like so. Then come up above it, and you don't have to be perfect. Do something like that. Okay? What this is we're going to cut that out with our craft knife, as well as these little notches we put in there. So let's get that all ready. I'm going to show you what mine looks like in just a moment. So that's what you should have. You should have some of that paper left over that we had used to punch out the sides and that extra small piece. Cut 2 1-inch pieces that are the same length as your paper here. And this is real simple. Just line it up, because it's easier to cut through single layers, but just kind of line it up. Use your pencil for your pattern on each. Okay. And then we'll just cut those out. Once you have these, go ahead and glue that down, making sure that you'll probably want to ink around your edges like we did before around our thing with our blue. But you're going to want to make sure, especially up here, that you get the edges really good with glue, and you're going to want to make sure it's completely dry. Okay, I've got this bent up. Now, if yours just won't fit, you can trim just a sliver off to fit it through, but the idea is to keep this snug. So I'm going to put mine in, and even with the paper, that thick paper over it, I may have to. And I am just enough to get that through. There. Slide that in there. And it will be snug, like I said. Okay. this is where I like to use score tape, and I'm just going to snip off a piece of my score tape to fit right in here. Now if yours is popping up like this, don't worry about it because you're going to bend it down in just a moment. And we're going to press that up. And by pressing that up, that should bring this down. I'm going to hold mine with my clamp. Okay, you should have in your trimmings this border that came off the side. The back is Beauty and Abound. I'm just going to place that right there, just to this point. Measure what I need there. Turn it around, and I'm going to glue that down. And then make a bow with your ribbon and glue that down. And that should be fine. If you don't like the tab there, you can always clip off a piece of this to fit right on over it. This project is complete. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. And my next tutorial I'll be doing is with the Portrait of a Lady by Graphic 45 mini album with the Graphic 45 flip album. I'll see you next time. Happy crafting, everybody.